Excellent. So that looks like we have succeeded in going live. It is never quite a guarantee in this world, and I have no idea who is likely to want to join us on such a beautiful evening. So we will just wait a few minutes because we are not quite at 7 o'clock yet. Or 7:30 even. Hello Linda, thank you for joining us. I did wonder whether I was going to be on my own tonight, but there we are. At least I know I have one person watching, which is always cool. Let me just flick that over to there. Cool. And then we can watch with a different screen. So, and hopefully we will have a good evening. I can see some more people coming in to watch. If you could just let me know in the comments. Hi Faith, hi Sheila, hi Annie, thank you for joining us this evening. Hello Sarah John. I do hope everyone is well. The temperature in my conservatory has now dropped to a more manageable level, as we had a lot of rain earlier on, and it has settled down completely, which is rather cool. Okay, so cool. So that is what we're going to be doing. It's not quite 7:30. Hi Wendy, nice to see you. I trust you. Are you back from your holidays? I trust you are, and that you've had a wonderful time. Hi Crafty Jacks, that's nice to see you. I look forward to seeing your book box when it's eventually made. We've had a discussion earlier on. Hello Sarah, thank you for joining us this evening. I've taken on quite a big project. I've done quite a lot of prep, and I'm using papers that I had left over. So I've got a combination of Sir Vagabond Aviator and Sir Vagabond, and possibly some Lady Vagabond as well lurking in this project tonight, because I think it's important to be able to mix and match your projects and to make the use of everything we've got to do. I'm taking all week to recover from the holes. Well, you have had rather a busy schedule, haven't you, between everything else that you've been up to. So I've realised I've managed to do something wrong in my prepping already, so that's always a good starting point. Not, but hey ho. So here we are. Are those all the same size? Those are all the same size, so we might. Now we'll mess with those as we go, because I know where I have not quite gone according to plan. So we are just after 7:30, so I'm going to start, and we're going to be making a version of this, but I've changed it up a bit and I'm using very different papers, so hence the twist in the process. So I'm going to do this in 2 halves, so let me just get rid of some of this little lot of gubbins that I've got on here, because I sort of know where I'm playing with some of these pieces. And to start with, I'm going to use the one that is on the back of the project, so the second of the boxes. And I would always suggest that what you do is you set out your pieces, and I'm deliberately going to leave my hinges off for the moment, how you're going to make it up. And I've just taken a piece of paper and popped it in the middle, so that's very simple making, but constructing is sometimes a different matter. Hi Joe, thank you for joining us this evening. So I'm just going to, she said, now then, on you've got two funny shaped pieces in your kit, and these need to sit like this, so orientated like that, so that when they're vertical you've got these two lines nearest each other, if that makes sense, because your hinges are going to go into there to tessellate, so to always add to the fun of life. So I'm going to start by making up box number 1, and I have got some glue, and I've had to chop the end of this evening to get it to run, so that means I'm going to have more than I really want, but hey ho, so be life. So that one is going to slot into there. I'm going to do the opposite side, because you've got male and female notches, so we've got male poking out, female poking in, and it's easier to put the poking out pieces, the male bit, into the female bit, if that sort of makes sense. And I apologise if anyone is mortally offended by that description. It's not my intention, but so that's going to sit there, but it will make, I don't know, I think that the internet's probably playing a bit silly but messing about a bit, isn't it? I strongly suspect that the weather this evening isn't going to help internet connections. So that is now going to allow me to slot that into there easily. And it doesn't matter about that excessively large amount of glue on the inside, because you're not going to see it. And I can't tip this upwards very easily, but just bear with whilst we pop this all together. So male, female, male, female, male, and then this allows me, if I tip this up, you can see I've got a female piece there, and this is now just going to slot into there comfortably. There we are. So that creates my box for there. And then in the kit we have some spacer bars, and it doesn't matter whether you put these on the top and the bottom or the sides. So that is going to sit into there, and we're going to sort of centralize that in there. And we're going to centralize that in there, and we're going to pop that into there, and this lot can then sit and glue down. But I have got some pieces that I've already done some bits of, and I'm going to show you how I did these pieces shortly. So that can go onto there. So that's just going onto the wedged pieces, and then I'm going to pop some glue down that edge, which will help secure it, and on the other edge there, and that is the smallest piece, and that's going to go into there. And I'm deliberately, I know I'm moving ahead, but I'm doing that intentionally so I can let this base piece set to dry before I start the next pieces. So that's going to go into there, because I really didn't think you wanted to see me doing the whole thing all of the time. So let's just pop those over there. That can go over there, that can go over there, that's going out of harm's way. And then I've got all of my little pieces. So this piece is ultimately will go on the top there, but we're going to cover some of these pieces. Let me just move that little lot of assorted embellishments, took them out of the way. We're going to go down a level because this is a bit like rinse and repeat. So I've chosen my papers. Now the inner side ones I've cut to 7.5 by 7.5, but the one for the top layer I've cut the exact size of the piece, and all I'm going to do now is add a goodly wash of PVA glue all the way around here. Then this piece can sit onto there, and I probably could have cut that a bit smaller, but it doesn't really matter. So that can sit and dry. Now this one, when you glue it in place, has been cut as a square for the top, and I'm deliberately doing it like this because of having to cut out the extra pieces. So you can see we've got gaps here, but that's intentional because of the way the box is ultimately put together. But I will be able to glue the extra pieces in place ultimately. So here I'm just going to pop some glue on these pieces for the time being, and then again just wriggle around. And if any of this is loose, ultimately I can add a little bit more glue. I just found that this was a relatively quick and easy way of of cutting out the pieces for what might appear to be quite a complex piece to cut out. And we can all do with some easy techniques on occasions, I reckon. There we are. So this piece is going to line up on here, and I do want it to line up reasonably well, so I can pop that there, pop that over there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, and I can now give that a little press down. Oh dear. Well, if it gets very noisy or we start messing around and we lose signal, then I will tackle that, and I can always go live another night. So this is when I find it easier to get my craft knife out. So that's had a dry, and all I'm going to do now, she says, is go around these. And this is why I didn't think you really wanted me to do this on all of the inserts, because there's 3 of these for each half of the book box, and we might just have been here forever. We've already had one good downpour today, and I have to say it's now got very muggy again, so I suspect you might be right, Joe. I think we might be heading for some more coming down. When it goes dark in here in my craft room, we'll know. But at the moment it's gloriously sunny, and all I have to do now is work my way around. Now, one of the important things for doing things like this is that you actually have a sharp blade, and if you haven't got a sharp blade and you're struggling, then swap your blade, because knives cut better when they're sharp, and you'll ultimately use less force and therefore be less likely to injure yourself. I'm sure you could do this without the help of a blade, but this is definitely the method I found the easiest. So I thought I'd rinse and repeat and do this twice, and then have some that I had done more than once. Now at this point I decided that I would literally just push these pieces out, as much as I possibly could. And I won't have got all the pieces out, and that is fine. But then I've taken just an emery board, so I'm really sorry ladies if you don't like the sound of scratching, but this will then helpfully neaten all of these edges off a little bit, and will also make it much easier. Yeah. But you can see that I then haven't had to cut into all of this little pieces here at this end. I didn't put a craft knife into, and I'm actually managing to pull these off, combination of the knife and going around the other surfaces and my emery board, just to tidy those pieces up a little bit. And if I had a smaller emery file I could go into them, but hey ho, I don't, so it'll be what it's going to be. And then I'm going to just take some brown distress oxide, and I'm using gathered twigs, but you could just as easily use vintage photo, would work quite well. I think tea dye is a bit too orange for the papers. Frayed burlap is probably a bit too pale. Just choose one of the browns that you like. So gathered twigs and vintage photo are my go-to when I want browns for doing things like this, because they work. And there we are, so that's that one, and I'm not going to glue that in place yet. That can sit down there because there are two of these that need to be done. So let's just give that a little wobble, a little clean, and then let's do this. So you can see that actually once you know how to do this, it really isn't going to take very long. Now Jax, that's not fair talking about cookies. I'm having to behave. I need to lose a dress size by September. Should be perfectly possible. I've decided that it's time to drop another dress size. So there we are. So I'm trying to behave, and I love salads. The only problem is that dressings aren't very diet friendly, really, are they? Even the diet ones are not very diet friendly, but hey ho, you just have to go with it. There we are. Eek. It's not very easy. It really is not very easy. But hey ho, it just has to be done. There we are. I think we've got all the way around there. So let's just have another. As I say, I think, you know, having worked this one through, the alternative is just to paint, or to roughly pull the circle out of the middle and ink the edges. The choice is yours. I rather like the patterned paper. I guess the answer is I am far more of a paper person than many. I'm sure it is very nice. And I really hope that you're enjoying it. Just because I'm having to behave really doesn't mean that everyone else has to. There we are. And if you were being more careful, of course, you could keep those pieces and do those with something else. But hey ho, partway through life, we're not going to worry. But I think I'm showing you that actually, for a complicated shape, actually, it doesn't need to take you forever, actually, to cut out all the pieces. Because a combination of cut and pull and file actually works really well. Yeah, that would also be true. Quite difficult to craft when you've got inky, painty, gluey, sticky, mucky fingers. And health and safety would have a sticky fit, wouldn't it? There we are. Right, let me clear that mess, because yeah, that's what we've got. There we are. So, aha, there it is. So we're going to treat this to the same. We're just going to go around the edge, catch the raw edges with a little bit of brown distressing. It will disguise any untidiness, any areas that are perhaps not so neat. Get rid of any white areas. And unify the edges, and I'm just going to go around the edge of the piece as well. Now just be careful when you're doing this, because some of these areas are not supported at the moment, but I can actually go back round that later on. So that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. Right, excellent. So what have we got? So now, excuse me from sniffling and snuffling, I know that's not very polite. So from the collectibles papers, I have some pieces of paper. There's a whole plane. It sits together like that in the collectibles papers. So that means when you don't want the whole thing, you can chop it into two, because a lot of it won't show, and that's cool. So I can now pop this under there as half a plane, and I can repeat said process with the other half. And I have just put the glue on the wrong side of that one, so let's just flip you round the opposite way, because having done that, there we are. So that can go into there, and we're not going to see it all anyway. And then we have a Sir Vagabond, and this is too big to sit in that gap, but I can have him sitting partly forward. So that is the plan. So the joy of working with something like these tunnel boxes, or the and the shadow boxes, is that you've got dimension and space, so you can really add a lot of texture. And all I've done is take my flat piece of paper and shaped it with my hands, and I have a brand new set of glue gel, and I'm going to use this because it gives me some wriggle room. So get rid of that lid properly would always help. Cool, or not, as the case may be, because the plastic hasn't broken. There we are. We'll do that. We'll find a baby wipe for sticky fingers, and I'm going to add a good wash of that in there for the time being. There we are. So that can go there. So my curved Sir Vagabond can now sit in there, so it's lifted up, because that's the intention, and we can have him even more tilted. So let us now take our next layer, and I might want to add some extra pieces. into the bottom of here. So let me have a little see what we've got. She says, come here, little piece. So this is just a die cut chipboard piece. And that can go and sit under there. You can see how, because I'm using the different my glue gel is allowing me to lift some of these pieces forward. There is still a reasonable amount of wriggle room and space that I can pop more bits in. Good evening, Jan, thank you for joining us this evening. There we are, that one can go there, that one can go there, and this one can go into here. So you will definitely find it easier if you if you plan where you're going ahead of time, have a little bit of a dummy run, and that will help with what you're doing. And can I remember what I was doing? Can I heck? There we are. Good. So there we are. So I know that I want him there, and I think I've got this lovely crow from the papers. I think actually he's my favourite element from the piece. And again, I've got quite, you can see I can get my finger in there, so I've got a good amount of space there. So I can now pop my shaped bird into there and pop that there, but I'm still going to have some wriggle room to pop some bits underneath here as I want to. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So there's a pair of boots, and I've just chopped it in half because why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So this piece I'm going to pop under there, and I'm going to cover the fact that I've only got part of it by having my bird in place, and I actually need a bit more glue gel there to hold him. And I definitely would recommend glue gel for doing this with. It just gives you a bit more wriggle room, and a bit more time for messing around, particularly if you don't do what I've just done then. There we are. So that's sitting forward, that's sitting there, my pair of boots is sitting there. And let me see, what else have we got? Well, we have another one of the die cut chips. So I'm going to pop that there, and I need a bit of that and a bit of that on there, and that can go there and fill up that space a little bit. There we are. Pop that like that, pop that like that. There we are. Let's see what else we have, because we have all sorts of bits here. So this is a clock or a wristwatch from the piece. So that can go there, like so, and that's going on the top. I've got the other half of my boot, because why wouldn't you have the other half of your boot? So again, that's being given the same dimensional treatment. And that can go into there, that can go there, that can go there. Excellent, good. So we're now building up a little bit of a picture. We might want, I think we might want a little bit of a cog just tucked underneath there, or not, as the case may be. We might leave that for the time being. Right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Excellent. So at this point I know that that's going to sit here because that's where I want it. So I'm just going to ink my plane round its edges and give it a little bit of lift because he's going to sit in there, comme ça, like that. And now I can take my top piece and I can now just add my glue in the areas that I need to do this. Because I'm all about making life easy for myself, and I need it on both the male and the female pieces for this one. There we are. And then let's get this so it's at least vaguely up the right way, and give that a little bit of a wriggle. Get it lined up nicely, and it will, she says, slot in. There we are. So once you've got it in line, you can give it a little squash and it will click into place. There we are. So what else? So those are now looking okay. Now I do have some other bits and pieces that I might want to put into here because I think I've used quite a lot already, and that's fine. So that can sit there. So I've got a bare area here. So let's just add some of these pieces. Now I know that actually I'm going to want him. I'm going to pop onto there, the opposite way round, so that they're both actually deliberately. So I've got both of these facing in the same direction. So he's going to go there. That piece can go into there, and I can grab some more bits as I want to. I have lots more pieces for adding. Good night, Joan. So that can go into there. That's going to go there. Now this piece actually needs to sit flat because my box needs to be able to close. So let me just pop that piece there. There we are. That piece can go there. And what else have we got? So I've got another plane, and the plane is flying in that direction. So let's pop that onto there. So in the collectibles pad that comes with the Sir Vagabond Aviator, there are two different sets of imagery. One is planes and one is hot air balloons, and so I've mixed them up quite a lot. And I'm going to add another house piece. Into there. You can see now how bit by bit I'm building some extra interest into my pieces. So I have a padlock, and this might prove slightly more problematic because of its shape, but hey ho. So that can sit in there. So I've now got quite a good mix of pieces here, and and I've got some propellers, and yes, I do know planes only have one set of propellers, but artistic license is allowed, so we're going to just do a little bit of adding and playing. And will it look exactly like the ones that you know in my promo shop? Absolutely not. Will it matter? Absolutely not. We'll have the houses straight though, because not straight will irritate. Aha, there we are. There we are. That can go there. And we're going to pop that onto there. As I say, this surface needs to be relatively flat, so you just do need to be mindful when you're doing this, not to layer up your top pieces. So that can go into there. And we have one more piece. We've got two more pieces, so I must have at some point in the messing around decided I was going to do something different, but that's absolutely fine, because I find that you never ever get everything exactly how you start out planning it when you come back to do a live. So that piece can go onto there. So those can go there. So that is one half of our box. Let me just double check that we are crunched into place, because we're not crunched into place now we'll never be right. So let me just have a little fiddle. There we are. Wendy, don't look now, she says. Aha. One silicone tipped mallet later, you'll find that they're quite useful for tucking stuff into place. There we are. So you are now crunched together, and I'm going to leave the sides. Actually, I'm not going to leave the sides. What I'm going to do is take two of the hinge pieces. Are you laughing at me? For top and bottom. And I'm going to pop these into here because I know that they're in the correct way then. That can go there. That can go there. That can go there. Poke that piece out. That can go there. So those are now tucked into there, and that can sit now to dry. As side one. Yeah. And guess what? We have a bit of rinse and repeat. Now this one does require some thinking about, because I want this to, let me just get rid of those pieces. Over there. That goes over there. Now this is the way that this box is going to sit when I have when I've filled in the inside bit. So unlike version 1 where I've got a hollow on the front and then a hollow here, on this one I want both hollows facing each other. So on this one I know that means that that needs to go that way round, if that makes sense. That can go there, that can go there, that can go there. So these are going to be facing down, yeah? That's going to be facing in. So let me just glue this side on. So you're having to think in reverse, which, yeah, it's never perhaps the easiest thing to do. So yeah. So let's just pop these in. Pop these in. She says, dripping. So I know ultimately that is going to be that way. Yep. So this piece, which is the piece that has to, with the line, is the piece that has to align with the notches on the other, the pegs on the other side, has to be facing down. So you can see why I've just, although this may make it slightly more fiddly at this stage, it means that I know that I'm going to be aligning my hinge mechanism the correct way, if that makes sense. And did I want to put glue on that bottom half? Did I, heck? You see, even so, there we are. There we are. And once I've done this bit, I can revert to the inside piece, because then I know that that is the correct way round. That is the correct way round. Have I got that round the right way? Answer, like as heck have I got it round the right way. Have I got it round the right way? Bear with me, ladies, while I just have a little moment. I did have it round the right way, because that, yes, that is going to be the right way round. So let me just clear that gubbins off. So just make sure you do get that in round the right way, because otherwise you'll not get your lines, your pieces to align, and that would be quite frustrating and moderately difficult to resolve. So that piece can go into that. And that piece can go into there. So by all my reckoning, that means that, cool, that is now aligned properly and nicely. So let me just clear some of that excess glue off, pop those together, and find some of these pieces. As I say, at this point I have, we might be about to get some rain, ladies. If it gets noisy, I apologise, because it's just gone a little bit darker in here than perhaps it might have been a few minutes ago. So there we are. So to solve the headaches and the hassles of having to prep all of these pieces, I have done quite a lot of this bit up front to save time, because having hi Lorraine, so having shown you how to do them the first way, you didn't need to see me doing another 5 or 6 notebook pieces. Right, let's make sure that's aligned properly, that's the right way for that paper. Right, so we have the lady, and we're going to do the same sort of process with this. So we're just going to tuck her in there, so she's going to sit up and over there. And we've got our spacer bars, which need to align like there. So these are going so that they're narrow surface up, if that makes sense. That can go into there, comes that. Right, let us take our next size up. Oh, it has gone dark. Let me see if I can. I think the heavens are about to open. Excuse me ladies if this is going to make you feel slightly seasick. It might wobble the camera because I am so flipping short. There we are. That's better. Sorry about the wobbles, but that's because I am distinctly vertically challenged. Now then. Ah, there it is. Yep, it's definitely thinking about raining. So I have a hot air balloon that I've chopped in half. I did have the other half of it somewhere around, but hey ho, it seems to have temporarily gone walkabouts, but that's okay. So that is going to go into there. That piece will get covered imminently, so that won't matter. There we are. The only problem with using glue gel is I end up in an icky, sticky, mucky mess. Aha! Right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I think, shall I put that one there? I think I'm going to pop that one there. So if I pop that there and that there on those two, I don't then need something else underneath there. So that's cool. But I will give this an ink. So this is one of the die cut chipboards. So that can go there. And that piece can go there. And then I have lots of other bits and pieces. One of the only headaches with glue gel is that I end up very sticky. Very sticky. So let's just make sure you're reasonably straight. You can go in there, you can go in there. So I've got lots of space here. So that is part of a helmet, because all aviators have helmets, don't they? So let's just give that a little bit of a round. and that can sit into there. Let's just shuffle you so you're flat. And we've got some books. Now these are not from my vintage library, these are from Lady Vagabond Lifestyle, so that can go there. And now I had a whole mount. Oh, there they are. Excellent. So let us now pop this in. So it's the same principle as the last time. Paper, meal. We might employ the hammer. If you're going to use a hammer, do so gently. Make sure they're reasonably aligned, and make sure you have one that is rubber ended or silicone ended, because if you hammer onto your lugs, these pieces, when they're not aligned very well, then you will undoubtedly cause yourself grief. And that's gone in nicely. Excellent. So those can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. Let's pop that over there. So I've got lots of space here and some pieces that I want to fill in. So let me see, we have a set of, there it is, gloves, because aviators have gloves, don't they? There we are. So let's pop those into there. And there we are, pair of gloves. We've got a little suitcase, because if you're travelling you might just need to have something to put your luggage in. What else have we got? We have a little bottle, and we've got a smaller bottle. So yeah, let's just pop this. I think we're going to pop that one into there. So let me just grab a big slug of you. That can go there. Here is the little one. So that can go there. There we are. So let us just pop Mistress Aviator. So this is definitely from Lady Vagabond, whereas that one's from Sir Vagabond, from the Aviator collection. So she's going to go onto there. Let's just mop off some of that. Pop a little bit of that onto there. I think we might want a little bit of something for her to stand up. So let's just pop that underneath there. Can go there. No, don't want that, but I have got a compass, so let us just pop the compass into there, comme ça. And we've got some instruments. I don't think that has a right or a wrong side, so that can sit into there. I think we're not going to pop that one in. I think we'll pop that into there. It says "This Way for Adventure." Why not? Because that will fit into there. And we'll stick into that place quite nicely. There we are. Okay, get rid of a piece of that, and we have a little torch, so that can go into there. Yeah. So on one side I said I was using mainly the planes. On this side I've used nearly all, most of it has been hot air balloons rather than planes, and that's intentional. You can see that that's lifting, so let's just tackle that whilst the going is good. And I think I put the best on that, so we're going to put number 1 onto here, because ladies are number 1, aren't they? There we are. And there we are. The metallic waxes from Pentart are lovely. So number 1. Just want that slightly bigger, so I'm just popping on to a second piece that says the best, but I don't want the best on twice, so there we are. So I'll pop that there, pop that there, pop that there, pop that there. There we are. Right. Excellent. What time is it? Now then, ladies, we've been going an hour. We have 2 options on this hot and stuffy day. We can stop at this point, or we can carry on. It's entirely up to you. Whilst you're having a think about it, no one's commenting. Do you? Carry on, please. Okie dokie, I can do just that. So I've set out some bits that I wanted to lay out for the outside because I've put everything, essentially through the inside. I thought I could, what this is allowing me to do is be much more dimensional on the outside. So these are the cutout pieces from the box. So in the kit you get all of the innards, the areas that I cut out. There is another one because I haven't used them all, and they're also on the website are these more intricate cogs and pieces. So let me just pop these out of the way, and this will also help let some of that other stuff set whilst the going is good. I will carry on, my darlings. That's absolutely not a problem at all, at all. So let's just so I am not going to prime my pieces tonight because I'm layering different colours and I'm going for a rusty effect anyway. So let us just bear with. because I need some water. There we are. And that's my own fault. I told my hubby to pop it over there. So there we are. Let's stick those over there for the moment. So I've just got some pentart paints. You could use, these are all the colours that are in the pentart rust effect kit. So and we're just going to have a little bit of splodging whilst the going is good. And I might not actually do a full rust effect. I might go for more of a, partly because I think the time of the night, and partly because actually I think by the time I do the dark brown and add some waxes, then that might work. So this is the earthy brown, but we'll see. We don't want mess underneath, so there we are. But I think, and I've got a nice wax to go over the top. And I was thinking about going full on rust, but actually I'm thinking metallic to go with the concept of rather than rust for this one, and it will be a little bit quicker, but also I think will be very effective. I know Sam was is spending some time with her mum, so it probably hasn't. It's probably busy tonight because I haven't seen her online, which is most unusual. But family absolutely should be coming first, second, third, and fourth, shouldn't it? In this world. So we're going to keep these as a simple. But as I say, one of these is that it's allowing my the box parts to actually now dry and settle down, and that's also a really good thing, because I'm going to have to upend them at some point. To put all the other pieces in. So these are lovely, really nicely, beautifully cut, very delicate piece, but not silly delicate, if that makes sense. I'm layering these, so a lot of these pieces, you're only going to see edges or small elements of. So there we are. Well, it's brightened up, so and I suppose if I did engage my brain I could have done half of this earlier, but hey ho, it has been a bit like a sauna in my conservatory. I might in a minute just have to go and put a fan on, but I'm also conscious that that will make it noisy. But we can't have everything in this world, can we? There we are. And I'm told that the weather for next week is going to be much still warmer than the average for the time of year, but not quite as hot and as oppressive as it is at the moment. And I gather a tornado watch was issued earlier on for most of the UK, so that's not something that I really wish to experience, having had problems being witness to the one in Kent and the aftermath of havoc that caused. Yeah. So, what else has everyone got planned? I'll be looking forward to summer holidays and trips to the beach and the seaside, or I'll be going to be looking after grandchildren, so parents can work and or have some peace and quiet time. I know that I'm busy. I've got teaching at a retreat at the beginning of August, up in the Derbyshire Hills, which is lovely, and so that's keeping me entertained, getting ready for that. You've just booked a holiday in France. Oh, that sounds lovely. You're crafting a frame with ooh la la, oh la la. Yeah, I wasn't really sure about oh la la when it first came out. I have to say that it has sort of grown on me. I don't think it's ever going to be my favourite collection from Stamperia, it has to be said, though the Eiffel Tower mould has fallen into my shopping basket recently, partly because it will work with around the world, and I do love that collection, having played with it the first time round when it was only available in a 12 by 12 paper pad. So I'm looking forward to the 8 by 8 and also the ephemera and stencils and things, because seriously I have followed Stamperia for that long. I remember the times when they literally only did 12 by 12 papers. They had nothing, and some paints. They had nothing else. So yeah, long time. There we are. Right, we are getting there. So Sheila's having a new kitchen. That's lovely. I'm glad you like Around the World. I have to say, I think it is a nice collection, and very usable, and not so heavily one subject themed, because it covers lots of different countries. So, some of them I think are very, very theme specific, and that perhaps makes them less usable. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, if it's based on teenagers, that's possibly why I don't like it, because I'm definitely not a teenager. I just think it's very, its imagery is quite childish, not very, I don't know, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. So this is earthy brown, so it's really quite a dark blacky brown, so I think it almost looks like metal of propellers, which is cool. And I'm going to stack them. There we are. Let's pop a lid on here, on there. Let me just grab a new baby wipe, give that a clean, and grab, that'll be, because if it wasn't warm enough in here already, a heat tool. But I can't add wax and I can't move these until I've got them dry. So dry it off it is. Yeah, I like Around the World. I think it is a really lovely brown. You know, it is a proper black brown. And as I say, for those of you that have the pentart rust effect kit, it is the dark brown that's in that. And sometimes I think it's good to use things in a way that perhaps they won't intended. You've got a nice pink metallic fish. What's she popping it onto, Sarah? Oh, right. Can I remember how I stacked these? This will be a good question. So that one is clearly going to have to go onto there. That one's going on there. That one's going on there. That's going on there. That is going on there. That is going on there. Excellent. One of those is going there, and one of those is going there, and one of those is going there. One of them is there. And those are going over there. Excellent. So we now have that vaguely where I want them to be. So let's just give this a little bit of clean. Very good. Yeah, if you've got a big fish, it probably does need to go into a box frame. Right, so I don't get paint on all of my papers that I'm just about to pick up. My baby wipes are drying out. We'll just de-yuck these. And I'm just going to pick up another wax while going is good. Well, that's clearly not the right lid for that one, but it is the colour I wanted. So there we are. So we've clearly got, oh, that'll be that way round and that'll be that way round. Right, now we've got those lidded round the correct way. So you know, when you've got so many things out, you can't see wood for trees. That's where we're at the moment. So many things out, we cannot see wood for trees. So I have cut this for the front of one of my pieces. So just go around the edge of there, and it's going to sit there. And because I've got put both of the shadow components of my box into the inside of my facing in to my shadow box, this means that I can have the outside really quite dimensional. So here goes. Because I couldn't do this if these were facing on the inside. There we are. So we're going to pop that there. Pop some of that. There we are. Piece can go up there. Again, we'll mop and smooth that down. For this piece. And that piece can go there. So that onto there. So I've got a whole different mixture of waxes here. Do I want all of that layering together? Yeah, I do think I do. I do think I do. There we are. I'm going to take that piece off there. So let's just, so this is black from, it's black metallic, and it is from Stamperia, and it's dried out a little bit, so that is just some white spirit. I'm not going to pop it into the pot per se, but it's going to allow me to reconstitute this a little bit. Let me fish out some, because it's gone more solid than I would like. So let's just pop that into there. There we are, that's softer. Excellent. So and that's a turquoise, and that is also a Stamperia one. So hello Liz, how are you? No need to be sorry, darling. Life gets in the way and can be busy. So there we are. So we'll just mix at random. As you can see, I'm really not being very precious about mixing these together. There we are. Let's align those in between reasonably centrally. I am going to add some of the brass in a minute, I think. Tone this down a little bit. There we are. Can go there. Let's just get a bit more of, it's what happens when you don't use stuff, isn't it? Is it gets thick. There we are. There we are. This one will require a little bit more careful gluing. There we are. And this is literally just the brass now that I'm adding into this, to add a little bit more colour back in to, and mix it up just that little bit more. And that's one of the joys, isn't it, of making for yourself. You can layer and add to your heart's content. Right, she says. Okay, let's just grab some of the Mr. Pin Flare. Go onto there. And that just says Around the World Tours. Now then, I'm just going to pop that on there, because there'd be two sides to this box. Who was a Wally? Who was meant to put that piece on? But never mind, we will we'll have a little fiddle with this instead and reorganise it, because that was going to go into there. So we're going to go with that one. That one, we'll take a layer out for this, drop it down a bit. There we are. There we are. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have it as we were and we'll not worry about that piece. Or maybe we will. Maybe we'll do that. And then that. And then that. And right. Then we're going to do that and that and that. And then that can sit across there. That can go on to there. That needs to go somewhere else. That's going to go there. And that is going to go into there. And that's going to be off-centered on this one. So there we are. That will work. So let's just... So we didn't need to do all of those pieces. And that is cool, because I can think of other uses for them. Oh, yeah. Right, let's get this onto here. You've never used glue gel? You don't know that you've lived, Crafty Jacks. I mean, it depends very much on what you want to do. I like it because it gives me lots of wriggle room, but it also is quite supportive. When you first start to... Well, if you're using gel medium or heavy body gel, it will work, and I'm not going to say it doesn't, because you've all seen me using it, but it's not quite got the same the same degree of grab. Yeah, this will grab almost immediately. Whereas the gel medium takes a little bit longer to set. So I use it where I want something held in place, and particularly when I want wriggle room. So if I'm going to be messing with something that I think might need a little bit of playing with, then actually the gel medium allows me to do that in a way that that glue gel doesn't. I mean, the gel medium will hold, but it doesn't quite grab in quite the same way. I know I'm not explaining that brilliantly well, and I apologise, but it's a different texture, and it gives me better height, and it's not as wet. So that's, yeah, that's part of why I like it, is that it just allows me to do yeah, things that are maybe that bit different. There we are, we'll put some blue into there. So you see I'm going between a you know, a PVA glue there we are, that will work, and the glue gel. So if I'm adding something very heavy, then I'm much more, or plasticky, then I'm much more likely to use the gel medium or heavy body gel. Whereas I'm adding paper that I want to hold and have shape to it. For me, that is easier with, she says, promptly getting wax over everything. And this is going on the Sir Vagabond, so I think I'm going to pop him onto the centre of there. Yeah. Yep. She says, I had two bows. There we are. So I know that I want that to sit onto there. So I can use my gel medium here to hold that in place, but still give me some wriggle. So that can go there. So let's just add some bits of the brass onto here. So I'm mixing across companies here, which is fine because we all do it, don't we? We all mix across different brands. There we are. She says hold that there. Right, excellent. So let's just pop that into there. Good evening, Mary. I trust you are well and enjoying life, and that Ireland has not been too rainy today. So there we are. We have there we are. So 3 planes on there. Let me just de-yuck the fingers and de-wax some of this, because currently we'll be in a right flipping pickle if we don't, and I don't want wax on everything else at the moment. I might add some wax later on, but it's not quite the look I'm wanting at the moment. Good. We've had our weather has been way too hot in reality over here, and the thunderstorms are about to open. Right, guys, lifting that out of there, and there, and there, and there, and there. There we are. And I clearly need a bit more glued out there. So, because that will then hold that neatly into place there. Right. Okay. Get off there. Right. Right. Eeny, meeny, miny. Lid onto there. That can go there, that can go there, that can go there. This can go over there, that can go over there. Right, I'm going to de-sticky my fingers because, as you can see, they are filthy, yucky, horrible at the moment. And if I don't de-wax them, I'm going to have wax over everything else. That's not quite what I was where I'm wanting to go with the rest of that at the moment. Right, that one can sit not on a whack of wet wipes. Right, excellent. So, part one. Part two. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Like it when a plan comes together. Okay. So by aligning these and taking my time to get these lined properly, I now have these so that they will work together. So I can now pop, that one's going to go into there. That one will go into there. That one is going to go into there. And you can see that they align nicely. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. And that's going to go there. And I can set myself a challenge, and I'm going to. You can either cut paper and then fussy cut it around it all, or you can cheat and wolf's pens. So in the pack, having aligned these, there are some square two pieces of these little short pieces, and that needs to align down the centre of there. Yeah, so it's gone through the centre of there. You just pop that up the other way, and I can see now that I've got my pieces lined, so I can then pop my other peg down the centre of there, and it will go nicely if they're all aligned, and it doesn't go nicely if they're not aligned. So it's worth just getting them aligned, and then it just slides in. And then there are these little circular pieces which just slot on to the ends. And at this point you really do then need to leave this to dry before you do too much meddling with these, otherwise you'll find that you pull the pieces out when you don't want to. But we're not so far off being finished, to be fair. Okay, let me get rid of that. So those are on there, that can go on there, that can go on there. Those just need to settle. So, okay, so we are now going to pop that piece onto here. And that will go onto there. Let's just move you back into the centre. Onto there, give that a little bit to grab. And I've got two choices then as to what I do with the sides of the box. I can do the same with the paint I've done here, or I can cut papers out. So the choice is actually very much yours. That's going to irritate me, so let me just pop some of that underneath there. There we are. That's better. Or we can pop that one on there. I think we might pop, I think I might prefer that one onto there. Or he thinks, or he's going to change my mind, because that's my prerogative. That paint wax and wax, it's a very cool technique, isn't it? And it just is so simple to do that it makes it very easy. So that's that side. Let's just pop that there. Right, and we've got this piece. And that piece is going to go onto there. She says, with sticky, icky, mucky hands. Okay. So let's just pop that one onto there and that one onto there. That piece can go onto there. And that piece will cut onto there. Leave those to grab. Thank you, Wendy. We are going to have a little bit of a fight in our hands in a minute, I think. But hey ho. Because I cut some pieces incorrectly, but that's also okay. Let's just upend you that way. There we are. So that piece can go onto there. Thank you, Martin. Steampunk but no rust. How about that? Whoever knew it, ladies? You don't have to get the rust effects out. There we are. So those pages now all need to dry onto there. Hold on. I'm sure I had two pieces the same size, but hey ho, there we are. Right, okie dokie. So that piece can go there. I think, yeah, why not? Maybe not, because I know that I messed up cutting some of those paper pieces up earlier on, and that is also all fine. So, let me see. Okay, let's pop these two pieces onto here, and then I will do the other side once it's dry, and I can upend it to cut around all the edges, because at the moment if I try to cut around those pieces I shall be in a right flipping pickle. Because some of these need to dry before I can do that. So that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. So that leaves me needing to cut into pieces to here and to paint my hinges, but I don't want to move those whilst they are wet. But I do have lurking in my stash of all sorts a little sticker to go onto there. And some little pieces of wood cutouts. And remember, ladies, I'm deliberately using up pieces here. So, you know, just because I've got these to use up, that's approximately in the middle. That's approximately in the middle. That's approximately in the middle. Okay. So I will fussy cut in that side, and I'm going to, once those are dry, I will do the same effect I did on the cogs on the front of it, and I will take some brown ink around those edges and possibly do a little bit of trimming of some of those pieces of paper. So we have our front, our inside, and our back, but those now need to dry before I ink the edges, paint the hinges, and put some paper on the other pieces. And I have got some bits that I can pop along, more wooden pieces that I can put along that side if I want to. So ladies, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I have enjoyed the craft along. I hope you found it helpful and useful. As I say, it's just an alternative way of putting the book box together, the cog box together, and it just requires you to have a little think about how you align things as you're making it together. So if that's all for tonight, let me just swap and fiddle with my computer. Please ladies, stay safe. I'm not too sure what Sam and I are going to be up to next week. I suspect one or other of us will do a live. I'm due to see Sam on Tuesday. We'll have a little natter and then we'll post it in the group. Stay safe ladies. I hope the weather is not too noisy and thundery for people tonight, and that's all for tonight. Bye bye.